to go all out to acquire those things. Nothing wrong with that. Problem is Tandizinto that you're not willing to work for. And Lendo Guti, you think Guti there's a shortcut to life, and you think Guti as a woman your success is a man away. False, sis. False, sis. Yo, ayiko into embulele njengaleonto. Yo, it has killed women like you have no idea. Like you have no idea. And I'll break it down for you, Guti, exactly what I mean and how it works. Not entirely, because not enough time I could speak the whole day about it. But Leandro is a problem ngalendlela yokuthi mawuthandizinto and you've got nothing to offer, and you're not willing to work for those things, and in those in acquiring those things is from a man or is a man away, then it becomes a problem, because you don't attract someone who is willing to grow with you. You're not going to attract someone who's willing to grow with you. You're not going to attract someone who's willing to build with you. You're not going to attract someone who's willing to grow you. All you're going to attract these, I'm not even going to say financially stable men, financially capable men, and men that are not necessarily there to build, and to a certain extent, not so much mentally stable. The type of men you attract, Motandizin, you attract men that are power driven, that are power hungry, and that are about control, because you have put a price tag on yourself, and that man has put his hand up and said, the highest bidder has put his hand up and said, no, I'll do those things, and then a transaction has just transpired, and you are now his property, and he can now control you, and he can now treat you anyhow he wants, because you've told him what your price is, and he's paid that price. Do you understand this? And it becomes a problem, and it hurts me, because in this day and age, I mean, I'm a father of 2 daughters. And I told this to my 10-year-old, and I told this to my 3-year-old. Uguti, lalela, yonke into ecabanga 3-year-old, and ngi-reiterate till just ngimqala manje kusayeli ukuthi you need to work. Moko into efunayo isebenzele. And you speak to me first. Communicate nami. Ubaba uzomnika into efunayo. My 10-year-old was kahle. So all these things you do for the latest iPhone, guys, to sell yourself for the latest iPhone, it's incredibly sad. And that's why you hear all these stories about ukuthwala ngabantu, zonke lezi ekhohlakala kwenziwa abantu, sizwa ngamaxoxo namaselesele manje. Yabona nje zonke nje lezo zinto. It's because you are his property. That's why you find these men that are not mentally stable, that do these things, and they've got these silly fetishes, but my fetish are silly. We are go for 50,000, but he's got this crazy fetish. We are gagela, or they want to pee on you, and all these things. I mean, it's guys, it's degrading to women. It is degrading to women, and it hampers your progress in society. Not only for equality, but I think more than anything else for superiority, because I think women as a species are far more superior than men. And ngabe ngikude kakhulu kuba kuthiwa aniyithanda izinto, noma kuthiwa uthanda izinto, you're willing to work for them. And finding a man who can do things for you needs to be a bonus. It needs to be a bonus, not an achievement. And that's where the problem is, and that's where the miss is, and that's what you're communicating to these men. And that's why when yo guys, it is so sad to see. It's so sad to see the stories that we hear every single day, and it's almost like women don't learn from it. And it's beyond me, guys. It's beyond me. You will never ever gonna attract someone oklonipai. Look, there's exceptions to the rule. Sometimes you do, when you get lucky, you do. You're never gonna attract someone oklonipai. You're never gonna attract someone ofunugwaka nawe if you've got that mentality. And it mustn't be a problem when you attract someone who's power driven and who's gonna want to control you, and who's going to want to do unimaginable things to you, because you've given him a price tag and he's paid for it. You understand? This thing has crippled women so much, Uguti, to the point, Uguti, even when you meet a guy who's ambitious, even when you meet a guy who adores you, who would take a bullet for you, who would die for you, you don't see it because it's not materialistic, because Utanda isn't materialistic, right? Because I got ham get posh, and it becomes a problem. Alright, guys. You need to reevaluate, guys. Women are so powerful. You are so powerful. And you're taking that power and you're throwing it out the window. And you're throwing